Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Fairyqueen Talks. As always, it's me, your Fairy Queen. And today the air feels a little sweeter, a little softer because Valentine's Day is approaching. And as your Fairy Queen and a close confidant of Cupid himself, it felt only right that we talk about love. Now, before anyone rolls their eyes, yes, Valentine's Day is commercialized. It absolutely is. That's not the argument I'm here to make. Chocolates, roses, cards, overpriced dinners, we know the drill. But what I do want to explore is the narrative that pushes back against Valentine's Day so aggressively. Sometimes I wonder, do people hate on the commercialization of love, or are they actually reacting to what love represents, especially when it hasn't materialized in their own lives the way they hoped? Because love, in its purest form, is not the problem. Love matters. Love is important. Love is part of how we live our happily ever after, whatever that looks like for us. We often hear the phrase, hurt people hurt people. And while that's true, I want to flip it on its head for a moment. What if we said instead, loved people love people? Our capacity to love others, to believe in love, to desire love, to stay open to love is deeply founded in the love we experience in our own lives. From the very beginning, when we are born, ideally, we are cared for, nurtured, and loved by those entrusted with our care. That early love teaches us something fundamental, that we belong, that we are safe, that we are worthy of affection and connection. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, love and belonging sits right at the center, the third level. After our basic needs like food and water are met, and after safety and stability are established, what do we reach for next? Connection. Love and belonging include friendship, intimacy, family, community, being part of something bigger than ourselves. It's the need to give love and receive it. And when that need goes unmet, we don't just feel a little sad. We feel lonely, isolated, sometimes depressed. It impacts our mental health, our resilience, our sense of self. Love is not a luxury, it is a human need. The world we are raised in and raised by becomes our first classroom for love. And what we experience there slowly turns inward and becomes something we call self love. Self love isn't narcissism, it isn't selfishness. It's the practice of treating yourself with compassion, kindness, and respect, the same way you would someone you deeply love. It's accepting your flaws, setting boundaries, meeting your emotional and physical needs, and making choices that support your long term well being. Self love looks like speaking to yourself gently when you mess up. It looks like accepting that you are worthy even on your worst days. It looks like saying no when something drains you and yes when something nourishes you. It looks like rest, nourishment, movement, joy. It looks like courage, doing the hard things for your future self, even when they're uncomfortable. And most importantly, self love means understanding that your value is internal. It doesn't come from being chosen, desired, or validated by someone else. When we have that foundation, something beautiful happens. We become capable of healthy romantic love. And this is where Valentine's Day tends to amplify everything. Most fairy tales end with the protagonist living happily ever after with their love interest, usually after being rescued from hardship. And while that makes for a great story, it can also create a dangerous idea that love is about saving someone, fixing someone, or being rescued. So, what happens when life is safe? When there's no dragon to slay? when love isn't dramatic, chaotic, or painful. That's when reciprocal love comes in. Romance thrives in relationships built on mutual give and take. Reciprocity means both partners show up, both invest, both listen, both care. It doesn't mean everything is always perfectly equal. Sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes 60-40, but there's an understanding that balance returns. Reciprocal love feels safe, it feels calm, it feels secure. It's mutual support, respect, clear communication, and shared effort. It's knowing that you're not carrying the emotional weight alone. And that kind of romance is not dead, but it does require self awareness, healing, and intention. Part of confronting the uglier truth of Valentine's Day is acknowledging this. Some people have not been loved well. Some people don't love themselves yet. Some people have been let down deeply romantically. And that pain can turn into being cynical about it. But being self aware doesn't mean rejecting love. It means understanding how love operates in your life. It means recognizing where you have been hurt, where you're still healing, and where you deserve more from others and from yourself. Valentine's Day doesn't have to be something we fear or resent. It can simply be a reminder, a mirror, an invitation, because our capacity to love opens up to some of the most beautiful experiences life has to offer: joy, connection, intimacy, butterflies, warmth. Yes, even the things that get commercialized and packaged and sold back to us. Those feelings are real, they exist, and you are allowed to want them. So, as Cupid's friend, as your fairy queen, I want to wish you a beautiful Valentine's ahead, whatever that looks like for you, with a partner, with friends, with yourself, or with hope quietly blooming in your heart. Remember this: love is yours to have. You are worthy of it. You always have been. Thank you so much for listening to Fairy Queen Talks. Until next time.